Welcome back to the beautiful Roy G. Guerrero. We got new baskets here, the Mach X. This is the back 9, front 9. Started off with that birdie. Felt ready to shred. I've parred everything since. A lot of circle's edge, a lot of circle 2 looks. It is a little bit windy today. The wind cuts into this course more so than it ever has. Just the way some of these hackberry trees have gone down over the years. And yeah, it's a beautiful hot summer day here in Texas. We're about to check out the back 9 of my favorite course in Austin, and I think in the state as well. See you there. Wait, we're here on hole 10. Flip it around for y'all. Starting off the back 9 with a par 4 in the 10th, 611 feet. Definitely a technical drive. You got to drag it from the left to the right, have it hold that line before you continue on. I like a fairway driver because the slower the disc, the easier it is to get to hold turn. So if you've been having trouble getting your disc to hold turn and you're trying to flex your distance drivers, well, you're doing just that. You're flexing it, you're turning it, and then it's going to low speed fade out. So try something slower if you're having trouble with those long holding shots. I'm going to go Athena. Make sure to pop in on a little turn, give enough height to fight right, and maybe flatten out at the end. Uh-oh. Missed right. Got a tree. We're scrambling. Scrambling and mambling. That's the name of the game out here. You can see the rock wall right around there. That's your indicator of where you need to dive off left back towards the basket. And a bit of a sketchy shot here, but I have enough room to get it off. Hyzer with the nuke, see if we can save a birdie. Flat to hyzer is what I meant to say. And caught a tree, made some progress. Likely par, likely par. If I was a betting man, I'd say market for par. Part of the beauty of a game like disc golf, though, is you always want to shoot for the moon and the stars, because even if you fall short, you'll be somewhere in the stratosphere, high on life, loving your time. And you never want to limit yourself mentally. You always want to try to do your best, especially in practice, even if it feels like you're being delusional. You're going to get better being delusional about your confidence than you will being overly realistic. So go for it. We're gonna send it. Got a couple options. I can throw this Annie line or the little baby hyzer. I'm gonna go baby hyzer with the faith. See if we can't chip this one in. That has a chance. Fade. Oh! Hit up top on the rocks, so you know it's a good shot here. Should have a short cleanup for par. And yet another hole where the built-up rock green isn't necessarily the hugest challenge, but adds a little bit of challenge, and it is a great visual. So think about doing the little stuff to elevate your home course. Even if you think it's not a big thing, it matters. Everything matters. So if you watch the front 9, you saw me play hole 3. And one way I like to attack courses is to build rhythm shots where possible. Now, hole 11 might not look exactly like hole 3, but the shape is similar. And in my mind, I can play the same type of disc, try to build that rhythm, or maybe correct on the previous throw with that disc. Little gentle turning shot with the MD3. Plenty of height to use here. Wind off the left. That's what happens when you use code Connor at any of my sponsors. You shave through the tiny gaps on the left and you park it for your first birdie since hole 1. We're about to be 2 down, you guys. Back on track. We can still finish 9 down, maybe even 10 down with an ace. Let's go. So if you couldn't quite tell, I split this Y gap right here. Maybe even double, maybe even triple wide it. I definitely hit this first Y. maybe even the second, and that third skinny one. Better to be good and lucky, I always say. Market 2. Market 2. Okay, we got another wildlife sighting. One of the best parts about Roy G. Guerrero is you really just feel like you're in nature. It's the only full forest canopy course in Austin. One of the few in Texas, especially deciduous forest, not conifer. And you get to run in with these guys, coyotes, rabbits, turtles, hawks. I almost had a red-shouldered hawk touch me yesterday, actually, on this basket. I was doing a lesson, and a red shoulder flew 5 feet from my head. Pretty neat stuff out here at the G. True sanctuary. Even the little stuff like stacking up the down logs into a wall adds aesthetics, and now you have all these homes for the horny lizards to live in, the horned toads to live in, for the insects that are beneficial. So you can create some habitat and beauty at the same time with rock and wood features on your course. The choices and chances to make your course and the world a better place are endless. So why not do it today? There's the basket for hole 12. I mentioned earlier how I felt like there's like a couple mandatory forehand holes now. And I might have exaggerated that now that I think about it. Maybe there's only, or I said there's a third of the course is like a Mando forehand now. That might have been a bit of an exaggeration. I think it's a little less than that. But there's a few, and there's a lot more forehand friendly than it used to be. This one plays way to the right, 310 feet, but definitely throws quite a bit longer. And it's tricky. It's tighter than you imagine. I'm gonna play a lot of hyzer on my cloud breaker because I think something on hyzer angle is a lot better than trying to hit flat on a stable disc. So let's try out that theory here. A lot of hyzer on a more neutral disc, and I just caught that freaking last inside tree. That felt so good. Really did. I probably scared this little spider friend with that disc hit there. Hey buddy, how you doing? Man, that thing was tracking. Really felt good about it out of the hand. And I think that strategy change from the super overstable I've been playing here is going to pay off in the long run. Give me more opportunities, less tree hits. Well, it's another par. And we're okay with that. Off that drive. But we like to throw better drives. And so we're gonna. Now, I may sound like a broken record about these little rock greens. But look at it. Isn't it cute? Focus, eyes, follow through. Take your par, move on. 2/3 of the way through this beautiful track as we step up to another par 4 here, 700 feet, actually 7 feet less than that. Only one real option off the tee though. You got to push something kind of flat, let it fade late. This is one of those par 4s where you got to do the majority of your work on the second shot, so you really just want to get yourself through the gap here off the tee, not try to do too much, then play from there. I like to go Raptor here so I can achieve a pretty flat release, maybe touch a hyzer, get it to fade before those back trees. But I think too big of a rim and you can risk skipping left off the fairway. Little flat there, but great disc selection. I mean, it's like I've played this course before or something. It's like I know what I'm talking about. Because I do. It's a good lesson for me. I love to help you work on your game while I'm here in Austin for the next couple weeks, even if you're in Houston or San Antonio. I'm willing to travel a little bit, and I'm even willing to travel to you for the right price. Hello. How you doing? You tried the Turk's cap? It's pretty tasty today. What? Bro, I'm trying to give you some tips, man. Come on. This cluster of 3 trees is really your measuring stick of where you want to get to or past off the tee. And not sure exactly how far I have into the green here, but we're going to find out with our rangefinder. I actually lost mine last year during practice at USDGC, and you'd think of all tournaments, one of the most exclusive and prestigious ones is the one where you'd get it back, but apparently some grimy mother effer decided they would take it as their own. But my guy Carl from Florida, big shout out to you, Carl, hooked me up with his. What a kind soul. Really melts my heart. And because of Carl, I know I have 346 feet into this green. So I did a little bit more than the halfway point here. And we're going to be rewarded with a mid-range shot because of it. So we're going to go MD3 into the green. Wind at our face. So I'm going to put some hyzer on it. Let it stand up. There's the hyzer, there's the stand, give me the drift back. And that'll do, you guys. Squeaked it under the basket for another birdie. That's gonna bring us to a slow and steady 3 down, and all of a sudden, our slow round is coming together. And that's why it's so important to have patience on the disc golf course. If you can maintain patience and a next shot mentality and not get frustrated by your streak of, what did I have? 10 straight pars in there? 9, 10 straight pars. Kept my head, kept attacking. And now, all of a sudden, because I didn't let myself blow up and get upset, I have a chance to come into the clubhouse, the proverbial clubhouse, the invisible clubhouse with, who knows, maybe even one of the hotter scores of the day if I can get hot here at the end. If you've got a friend or family member who struggles with their patience, maybe you should get them out here on the disc golf course, because I promise you they're either gonna become more patient of a person because they play disc golf, or they're gonna hate it and stop playing disc golf. And you know what? As long as they at least tried it, I think that's huge, because all we need is people to try this beautiful game out, and I know they're gonna love it. It's just one of the most dynamic and beautiful games. It's the golf of the future. We don't have the environmental impact. We're not causing Alzheimer's to an increased rate of 46% of the people within a couple miles of the golf course because of all the Roundup and weed killer that we're using for the grass. We get to take these natural spaces, keep them relatively natural, do a little bit of trimming here and there while maintaining and even sometimes highlighting the natural flora and fauna around us, and giving people a great way to recreate, move their bodies, and be active, which in my mind is probably the most important part of being a healthy human, mentally and physically. Here we are on the tee of 14, a dual option hole. If you're a right hand player and really like that backhand hyzer, you do have a lower ceiling option. The grass is growing up a little bit, gonna make it tougher to get that skip. There's also this left side turnover line, which I almost wish they would mandatory the left side just to force a tunnel shot here, force something specific, and also keep us away from this pedestrian path. I think it could be a good situation to do that, but you know, it's not bad that they leave the option because it's not a gimme backhand shot. Since the hyzer's there though, when in doubt, I take the hyzer route. I'm going Halo Star Boss. 341, slightly uphill. Got to get to that upper shelf past the long grass to get the skip we're looking for. This one feels really solid. Oh, I caught one of those last trees a little bit inside. And we're gonna have another long, maybe 80, 90 footer at it. It was close. I'm so thankful to have a forest canopy course like Roy G to play right now in the heat of a 100-degree Texas day. Because I think pretty much any other course I would play here in the Austin area, number one, I think my phone would overheat. I couldn't even film a full round. Number two, I'd probably be sweating even more than I am right now, and my full shirt would be gone, covered in sweat. But on a breezy day like today, which is tough for the scores, but great for the body, it just feels really nice in here. And after the round, if you really want to, you can go to the secret beach. If you know, you know. Jump in the Colorado River just below the dam, where they dam it off for what they call Lake Austin. You know, just another portion of the Colorado River that's been deepened up by the dam. So many beautiful things to do here in Austin, and Roy G. Guerrero has to be towards the top of that list. You know, it ain't called the Colorado River Park for nothing. Great line, just gotta have some want on it. We're just trying to get out of here with our pars, apparently. Pars and birdies. Okay. Another par. Un par de tres. Our path to 15 has been blocked by debris. Debris. It's everywhere. Wow, okay. The Austin city parks are really having trouble right now with those storms that came through a couple months ago. I assume the way this tree limb looks so dead, it's been hanging for a while. We have not only a widowmaker with this mesquite limb right here, but in this next portion of the gap that you enter off the short tee right away, there's also another widowmaker. So tough times here in the Austin Parks land. I'm sticking with my roller play though. I've been loving the roller here. I think it allows me to hit this gap really hard, not worry too much about my angle, and make sure I get it to the ground with plenty of speed with this pink Opto hatchet with the Cleavor die. Thanks to my guy Esmentini. Go check out the bottom of the description below and you'll see where to get some sweet dies from him. He does all kind of cool anime, your favorite sports teams. I love me some Pokemon, and so I've got quite a few from him, and this is one of them. I'm gonna show you guys how to do it with the roller here. Right to left wind. Gonna make it a little trickier, but we'll manage. Really like this. Oh yeah. I can beat the tree trunk. Nope, caught one of those last tree trunks, but I made good progress here. Cut the 700-foot par 4 at least in half, if not more. Gonna have a manageable approach for that birdie. Now, if you know anything about mesquite trees, they're full of little sewing needle sized thorns, and so otherwise I would happily try to pull this thing down and take away the hazard for everyone else, but hopefully the park comes and cuts it down. Also, sometimes pulling a limb off a tree is going to cause more damage, so unless you know the species you're dealing with, maybe just leave it for the parks and let them know. Here you can see that next one hanging right there. That's what they call the widowmaker, because the man goes out into the woods and that falls on him, he's gonna have a widowed wife. And don't be that guy. So look around, be careful on a windy day like today, especially after some storms have created the damage already. If you hear any creaking or any kind of trees wrestling up in the air, be aware. Turn around, don't drown. You know what they say. My roller was cruising and then caught this little two-headed tree right here. Otherwise, we probably would have had another 80 feet on it. It left me at a good spot though. We've got a gentle hyzer left into the green and not very long to go. Whoops, kick the camera. Double check the angle. We're good. Thinking it's probably going to be like an envy shot. I also could even throw like the spike hyzer, since it is available and you don't get too many options to do that out here. But I think a fan grip envy is actually going to be the perfect shape for this shot, and the gap is plenty big to go up the middle. Take away that stand of trees on the right side of the basket that the hyzer would have to contend with. Just pure it. Or you can just turf it in the ground. Whoopsie-doo. Apparently I didn't want to score the birdie here. Oh, that one hurts, y'all. Ooh, that one hurts. Wanted that. Pretty neat little cluster of mushrooms we have growing out of the ground right here. Anyone know what species that is? After the turfed up shot, I got about a 100-footer. Really had a good opportunity to score there, but didn't execute. Alright, that one had good pace on it. Just needed to be a little flatter and might have had a chance to go in. I mentioned earlier on the front nine that maybe if your family's reluctant to try disc golf, but they love the outdoors, whether it's finding the wild edibles around them or looking at tree species and different flora and fauna, the bird watching out here at Roy G is probably some of the best in Austin. One of the healthiest cardinal populations you'll ever see. There's hundreds, if not thousands of them out here at Roy G. I've seen packs of like 20 plus flying around during the springtime. And tons of raptors, birds of prey, as well as those doves. You got mockingbirds, you got the little wrens hanging around. You got I just saw oh, what is this guy? We even have tiny little woodpecker right here. Oh my god, let me just turn the camera around. I got this tiny little red-headed woodpecker right here going to town. You got sparrows. I don't know what that little chickadee tuft mouse little guy in the back is, but right here above it you got a little red-headed woodpecker. Truly a wildlife sanctuary along the Colorado River, and there's so many reasons to get out to Roy G. I mean, that just was like a Disney princess feeling moment, you know? I'm like sitting here trying to tell you guys it's great bird watching, and then boom, first red-headed woodpecker of the day. I mean, you know, get out in nature, observe. You never know what you're gonna see, but if you don't get out, you ain't gonna see shit. If you were watching the front nine, I told you guys that old hole 6, new hole 5 was my first ever ace at Roy G, and hole 16 right here, aka old hole 2, is my second ever ace. I actually got it this winter during a lesson round, which is super cool. My homie videoed almost every shot I took except for this one, and he felt so bad when I aced it, but I actually got it with this fossil Pokemon dyed cap wrap. So let's see if we can hit that repeat button. Wind off the left, so I gotta make sure to give it extra hyzer, extra height today. This feels so good. Come on. Do it. Oh! Thought I was gonna get it, y'all. Dang, I was so close. Oh, it's alright. It's alright. Next time. I mean, judging by where that disc went and the height that it skipped, it was just in front of the basket. It was so close. Really got the heart rate up there. I thought I had another chance to not only talk about it, but be about it. We love that. Alright, full putting routine here. Oh, you guys, I cannot make a putt today. A little soft and left on that one. Wind kind of picked up and I overread it. Just jam it in there flat, buddy. Jam it in there flat. The good news is I'm throwing the disc consistently pretty dang well. Almost really elite. And yeah, maybe that putt right there was my sign to get a little more practice in before I come play. And treat it like a tournament. Because during tournament weeks, I usually spend at least an hour to an hour and a half putting before my round, and it definitely makes a big difference. So practice how you play. I call hole 17, aka original hole 3, the backhand measuring stick hole. If you can birdie this hole on a golf line, you can birdie pretty much any hole in the Disc Golf Pro Tour. 440 dead straight, limited space with the trees on either side. Not a tiny gap, pretty large gap actually, but enough to where you can't just take a distance line, flex it at it. You got a beam one there. We also have this high floor with the mounds in front of us. I'm gonna go cloud breaker. Play it fat, play it fat, play it flat. Not talking golf terms. Play it flat, let it drag a little bit right, come back at the end. It was flat, but it was not nearly as low or right as I intended, but I think I beat all of the bamboo, and so I should have an open shot at it. That was pretty bad though. Yeah, pretty bad. I think that was one of those shots where I kind of expected the wind to be doing what it was doing all day, or at least what it was doing when I was on hole 3 earlier. And yeah, I made an ass out of you and me by assuming what it was going to do instead of just throwing the shot and seeing if the wind would affect it at all, because it probably wasn't going to do about anything to that shot. Okay, from the weeds, about 70, 75 feet. We got a dragonfly friend hanging out. Hey buddy. That means we know the mosquitoes aren't around, so you're welcome to hang out as much as you want, my friend. Because for those of you who don't know, dragonfly is the most successful hunter on the planet, percentage-wise, with its ability to fly in any direction. The savage helicopters of the bug world. You never know what you're going to get out here, would you? Our man got his buggy and his fishing poles. He's heading down to the secret beach. And we got the cityscape in the background. Late day haze. I do love that they paid homage to the original 17 by making there be... How did that almost get to the back? I mean, it's way too many chains for that action. But anyways, love that they paid homage to the original 17 with the city view in the back here. Definitely big vibes. If you want to see some really wild stuff, go back to my Vlogmas either 2021 or 2022 where I played Roy G, and go to hole 17. And you're going to see someone drive a whole SUV down the left side of old hole 17. Apparently 17, that's the hole the vehicles are going to be on. But we also had hundreds of homeless people camping out here back then, and fortunately they have moved on now. Oh, he's coming back. He took a wrong turn, I think. Not sure if that's legal or not, but here he is. Hole 18, aka OG hole 1, par 4. Solid opening hole with how kind of simple it is compared to what the rest of the par 4s used to be. Now that the course got redesigned though, I feel like it's kind of on par with the rest of the par 4s. Throw a good drive, very gettable. This one used to be the easiest par 4 on the course though. Either way, it's always played really well. I'm going nuke off the tee. I'm looking to play a hyzer that never really stands up past flat, but stretches that hyzer out a little bit. There's a dense corner of cottonwoods that you really got to get around, and you got to beat that middle tree that is faded in front of. That's a nice conservative shot in the middle. We got options from there, likely a straight backhand in. Sometime soon, this little baby sweet honey mesquite, if they let it keep growing, might actually affect the line from the long box and make it a kind of tough par 4, which I don't think I would hate. I don't think I would hate. Wishful thinking, but on the original tee signs, I know this little rock area is marked as like a water hazard. If it rains hard enough, maybe it will fill up for a couple hours, but I've never seen it with water. Even though it would be super cool if they dug it a little deeper and put a pond liner in there, so we could have at least one water feature on this course. That's the one thing, two things Roy G lacks: elevation change and water carries. If they had that, if it had those, it would be hard to beat in Texas, especially the original design. This new design definitely is beatable. Okay, dead straight shot into the green. Let's use our rangefinder just to be precise and try to walk away with a bogey free 4 down round. 307 feet in. Perfect distance for the Envy. Sadly, we've lost, well, the tree on the right still has some leaves, so it's still technically alive. But we lost that other one, and so this field goal that used to really shape this shot is kind of gone now. It's still there, but it doesn't really get in your head like it used to. I'm going Envy straight at it. We also lost the 2 trees up there on the left side of the green, two of the four right there. And so approaching, swinging it left to right is as easy as it's ever been, especially if you're off a little bit more right of this position. Envy to chains. This is for you, James Conrad. Or you overturn it and you play the Texas slide up onto the green, baby, because you know the right side miss is the advantageous miss here. Play those rocks, play the hillside, trickle back in, you know, gravity. We got a putt for bird. They have planted these 3 little trees. This one doesn't look like it's made it, so we might need to redo that one. But these 2 little oaks that they planted seem to still be alive. So those will grow up one day and provide some more shade and challenge to the hole, though they don't really affect the line at all. So we might need to plant some new babies right behind these 2 original ones, in my mind. Make Roy G hard again. I know I'm saying this as I'm only 3 down, but I feel like I've had a pretty easy time keeping it clean, whereas on a day like today where I'm not quite pure in everything, if the course is a bit harder, it could have maybe got me to bogey. But here we are, inside the circle, 28 footer to finish with a bird. Wind slightly off right. Hearted it, come on. All right, clean 4 down round, like I said. Pretty respectable. Definitely could have gotten patient and turned it into a pretty meh round. Also could have turned it up and got real hot if I just played a little bit better from circle 2 putts or threw it a little bit closer on my upshots and my tee shots. Thanks you guys so much for watching here till the end at my favorite course in Austin and probably in Texas. Let me know what your favorite courses are and let me know what's the next course that I should film. I'm thinking about heading out to Sprinkle Valley, playing that one again, seeing how that one's looking. And yeah, what other courses in the Syntex area or anywhere in Texas do you think I should play? Also, don't forget to hit me up if you're looking for a lesson to improve your backhand swing, your forehand, your putting, your mental approach, whatever it might be, or just to have some fun, play around with me. Maybe prepare for a tournament you got coming up. Let me help you build a bulletproof game plan. Love to see some of you guys out here soon. Either way, thanks for watching. So I gotta say, I just turned in my round on UDisc. Just take a peep at the leaderboard like we all do, you know, see who had the hottest score of 2025, allegedly, out here at RG. And yeah, some of the scores I see on the leaderboard, I'm like, man, shoot like that in a tournament and then I'll believe you. Because there's too many players who either are really good practice players and really bad tournament players or are just flat out lying. So, do better.